Hello, I'm Pastor Matt from the Valley Alliance Church, and this is 7 Deadly Sins of Smartphones, Part 2, Greed. I'm going to talk a bit about gambling today, and I am not tempted to gamble. I have never bought a lottery ticket. I consider them a crime against math, which is at least adjacent to a crime against God. But I think we need to talk about gambling because the casino used to be like way out there in Regina, but now it can actually be right here in our pockets. And myself, I've been at least tempted to bet on sports because I get ads about it 5 times a day. Now, I don't think games of chance, according to God's word, are necessarily a sin. I think Yahtzee probably fine, but it is close to one when we are talking about money. 1 Timothy 6:9-10. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. It is through this craving that some have wandered away from the faith and have pierced themselves with many pangs. Covetous desire for wealth is dangerous and deadly for our hearts and faith. Now, the book of Proverbs exists because there's more than just right and wrong. There are situations that require wisdom. And while it might be that gambling by itself in a vacuum is not a sin, Proverbs tells us we should be very wary. First of all, because we were meant to work to earn. Proverbs 12:11, whoever works his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows worthless pursuits lacks sense. Now, this is clearly the case with gambling, which yields an investment from 8% to 50% in the negative. Like you're going to lose that much of your investment. God made us to produce wealth from work. This goes for gambling. It likely goes for speculative cryptocurrency. And it's bad enough that you're going to lose 8 to 50% of your wealth on average. But it's also bad because you might win. Proverbs 13:11, wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. There are many stories of people who win lotteries and lose it all. Like Jack Whitaker won $314 million and later said his life was cursed after he lost everything. Now, the final thing to consider is Proverbs 22:16. Whoever oppresses the poor to increase his own wealth or gives to the rich will only come to poverty. Now, think, if I win the lottery, where did that money come from? Now, stats would show that poorer people are more likely to play lottery games than richer people. And so the money from a lottery, if you win, is coming from another person and is coming disproportionately from the poor. Now, instead of making a bad investment in gambling, Jesus invites us to invest in his kingdom, giving to the poor so that we will have treasure in heaven which lasts forever. And that is not a gamble.